Okay, so let's get started with our discussion for today. So, as I have just told you that you can go to the API automation section. This is where you can find your notes for whatever we are going to talk about today. Okay, so coming down here. Now, yesterday I gave you a sample UI which we ran, and subsequently we tried to perform some assertions or some validations, right? Now we'll look at it in more details today. So just 1 minute. So if we come down here, we tried this contains, not contains, SOAP response SLA, and sensitive information exposure. Right? Now today we are going to look at it from the point of view of how we can use XML and XPath. So first of all, I will explain to you what is XPath basically, and then we'll come to using or asserting the content of an XPath. That is, XPath is nothing but the SOAP message, the request and the response that goes back and forth between the client and server. Right. So let's start. So I'm going to look here at this one XML XPath tutorial. So this is what we are going to look at. Okay. So let's get started. So again, as I told you, you can download it in the PDF format if you want to, as a note. That is what you want to do. So now XPath is a major element in XSLT standard. Like we have HTML and there is a CSS. HTML is hypertext markup language, and CSS is look and feel of that XML file, right? So similarly, like we have an XPath here. Sorry, we have an XML here. So let me show a simple XML to you maybe. Switch space. For the time being, I will show you a simple XML here. So let's say this is a simple XML file. Don't worry about it, what it is, but this is a simple XML file, right? Which contains our opening tag bookstore, then book tag is there, book tag is there, book tag is there, right? So these are some of the entries in that. Now, what is XSLT? XSLT is a CSS of XML. What I mean by that is, if you will look at this, entry here again, this particular XML file, if I open it in browser, so let me open it in browser for you. Let's say I open it in browser, and it gives me this XML in this form. Okay, let me open it here so that it is clear. So if I open, what has happened next? Okay, here. So this is an XML file with various tags which are here, right? Now, what happens now in this particular XML file? If I apply an XSLT, so this is an XSL file, which is a style sheet of that. So you will see that this is okay. This is what happens to that particular XML file. The look and the feel changes, but the content remains same. Can you see that? I mean, it is not something we need to learn or we need to be worried about, but we should know that this is what XSLT does to an XML. I mean, you can change the look and feel of how the content will be displayed. Okay, that is the purpose of XSLT. Okay, now having said that, let me come back here. So first of all, XPath can be used to navigate through elements and attributes of an XML document. So meaning that, suppose this is a file for me, right? So this is the root element. Inside that there is a food tag, there is a name tag. So you can navigate to a particular tag, a particular element, a particular attribute in this particular XML file, and access the the what you say entry or the data in that particular XML file, right? So XPath stands for XML path language. XPath uses path-like syntax to identify and navigate nodes in an XML document. Now it contains over 200 built-in functions. Okay, and XPath is major element in XSLT standard, and XPath is W3C recommendation. So let me just quickly show you a simple XPather example so that it will make more sense. So let's say this is an xpather.com, a website which evaluates the XPath. So what I'm going to do is I was showing this file to you, right? So let me just copy and paste it here. I mean, we will look at it in details in some time. But can you see here, Anamika, that we have this XML file, right? Now, if I have to access the title of this, I have to write an XPath. I'll say // First of all, I'll put bookstore / book. I'll put books / title, title, right? So can you see all the titles have got highlighted? If I make it 1, for example, so it will give me the title of the first book, and here you see the value. Can you see that, Anamika, Pallavi?
Yes.
Yeah. So this is basically XPath. XPath is a path with the help of which you can navigate to a particular element in an XML and fetch the content of that XML. That is known as XPath. Okay. So what is XPath expression? So basically XPath uses path expression to select node or node set in an XML document. So these are all nodes basically. So if I draw it in a diagram here, drawing board. Okay, so if I were to explain it in diagram, I could assume that this was a tree-like structure where this was bookstore. Bookstore had book, 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 and book, right? So these are the nodes of a particular uh, XML file, or rather this bookstore is a root entry or root tag or root node, and these are subnodes inside that, right? So these are the terminology which is generally used, and these XPath expression look very much like the path expression you use with the traditional computer file system. So for example, in this machine I have a folder structure, right? So this folder structure has some other folders which in turn has other folders, right? So this is the same structure, right? So this is more or less, XPath is more or less similar to the structure which I have just shown in the Windows Explorer. Now XPath includes over 200 built-in functions. We'll look at some functions also. These functions, these are functions for string values, numeric values, boolean, date, time comparison, and node manipulation, sequence manipulation, and more. And now today's XPath expression can be used in a lot of languages. I mean, you can use in JavaScript, Java, XML, Schema, PHP, pretty much any language, right? So there are some terminologies which we need to understand with respect to XPath, and then we will try some hands-on. So XPath nodes. So XPath document are treated as tree node, right? Topmost element of the tree is called root element, which I have already told you. So if you look at this, this is so this file here, bookstore is the root, right? Root of the XML. And example of nodes in XML documents are bookstore is there, author is there, and lang is an attribute. So for example, this particular XML which I had shown to you, so this is a node, book is a node, and this is an attribute of that given node, right? So these are some, now some relationships is parent. So each element and attribute has one parent. In the following example, the book element is a parent of title, right? Author. So for example, here the parent of author or title is the book. Children is, for example, title is a children of a book. Sibling is, the following example, title, author, year and price are sibling, meaning the ones which have the same parents. What is an ancestor? For example, our nodes, parents, etc. So these are ancestors. Descendant is like children, our nodes, children, or children's children is a descendant, right? So these are some of the terminologies which are used pretty extensively with respect to XPath we should know of. Okay, now let's look at some of XPath syntax. Now XPath uses path expression to select nodes or node sets in an XML document. The node is selected by following path or steps. We will use following. So let's take this maybe is a simple example of XML. So let me copy this here, a very simple XML file with bookstore as a root and to book, right? So I will put it here for the timing. Let's take this one. Now how do we select a node? So XPath uses path expression to select node in XML document. The node is selected by following a path or steps. The most useful expressions are listed below. So if you say slash, it selects from the root of the node. So if I say slash of book, STORE, so can you see here, Sandeep, the entire XML has got highlighted, right?
Yes.
Then slash, if I say book, so both the books are highlighted, right? If I choose one, it will be only one book. If I choose two, it will be the second book, right? So now dot is select from the current node. So sometimes people tend to say dot slash slash book store also, right? So dot is the current location, or double dot is go to the parent. And add, if you want to select an attribute, so let's say this has a lang attribute, right? So let me delete this. So how do I, from the title, how do I select the at the lang? So I can say for example slash slash whatever the tag is, and if I search for a lang, it will give me the lang attribute, right? Okay. Slash slash I have already told, this is from okay, sorry, I missed that. So select node in the document from the current node that matches the selection no matter where they are. So Anamika, if I say single slash, it is from the root, and double slash is from anywhere within the document. Okay, so that XPath engine will try to pull it from anywhere in the engine rather than starting from the root of the element. But if I say slash, then it always starts from the root of the XPath XML file, right? So now now let's try some examples. So for example, if I say bookstore slash book, this is the first book, right? So bookstore. So if I put this, for example, bookstore slash book, and if I put in here one, I get the first book here. Now there are some functions also. Remember I told you about some functions available. So just let me open this in another page. So now I was talking that there are some built-in functions available, right? When I was discussing about this, I told that there are like 200 odd built-in functions in XML, right? There are some good number of functions available, right? So these functions, where is the HTTP method? Resource, yeah. So some of the functions are available here. I believe this is the right one. Yes. Okay. So we, for example, we will try to use maybe some of these functions in some time. So like as I just stated, that you can fetch a particular book from a bookstore. Now this is, suppose in the bracket I'm using a function called last here, right? Why last? Because in this case it's a small XML file. But what if it's a very big file and I don't know the count of, so I can say last open. So this is the last one which is got highlighted. If I can want to say last minus one, it will search the one before the last, right? Similarly, you can say position based, right? For example, all find find those books which position is less than 3, right? So that way also you can find less than 2. Okay, less than, sorry, it is not last, it is position.
Position.
Yes, yes. So I can put this position less than 3. So less than 3 is 0, 1, 2, right? Now if you want to find for example, in the book there is a price, you can find all the books with a price greater than some value, right? So if you copy this and you put it here, for example, right? So search for a book where slash slash bookstore slash book. So it will find a price which is greater than 35.0, right? So this is how you can pull various attributes and other things. For example, if you want to find or a tag which is having title, okay, this should be single quote like this, right? So it will find a title with an attribute. Attribute has to be accessed with the help of @length, right? Is it clear, Sandeep, Pallavi?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, so what we will do is we will spend some 10 minutes trying this. I'm sharing this link with you. I'm also sharing this link also with you. So you can take the XML file from here. This is the XML file. Put it in XPath, and then maybe you can try out maybe 4, 5 of this so that you get a little confident about it. Okay. So and at the bottom there are these functions are there. So just put it in there and see if it works for you properly. So I'm sharing this link with you, XPath. So first of all, you have to copy that whole XML file here and then try out this. Okay, so I'm putting it on the chat. Let's try it out for 5-10 minutes and then we'll move ahead.
One query.
Yes.
So nodes cannot be duplicate, right?
Nodes cannot be, sorry, what can't be duplicated?
Node, like we have / title and then we give some attribute to search with a line. If those nodes are duplicate, it will not work, right?
Nodes, I did not follow your question.
It's like book, title, price, those should be unique, right?
No. So book, see this no. So XML can have duplicate data, right? So
No.
so if I have this XML file, for example, suppose this is my XML file, right? So inside this I can have an exact same copy of a book, right?
Yeah, but within book only, the title cannot be duplicate, right?
No, it can be. It depends upon the schema. I mean,
Okay.
there is no rule. Of course, you can restrict it by defining some rules. But if if the rule is that it can have more than one, it can have duplicate can be there.
Okay, got it.
Yeah. So please try out. I have sent you the xpather.com link plus my website link. So please try out few of them and let me know if we are good. So what we will do is, maybe Sandeep, can you share your screen and we can see you trying so that others can also try with you. Can we do it like that?
Yes.
Okay, so I'll stop my screen. Please share your screen.
Just a moment. So, okay.
Down, down. XML is below. First go down, 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 more. Yeah, so come down, still down. Yeah, so this is the XML. Up. Yeah, so this is the XML file. You can take that. Control A and delete. Control A, delete. Yeah, put it. Yeah. So in the top box also Control A and delete everything first.
Okay.
Yeah, and now put your go back to that my website, and you can take maybe, or you can type yourself also if you want to do that, whichever way works for you. So // yeah. So if you, so one second, so remove the last, remove b and slash. So if you will do that, you will see that book, entire bookstore is highlighted, right? Yeah, and on the right side, if you will see, it shows you the entire content of that XML file. Harry Potter 29, learning XML 39.5, 39.95, right? Slash book, say slash book. Okay, now both the books are only highlighted. Yes.
Right.
Now you can put in the square bracket 1 and 2, maybe 1 or 2 if you want to put. Yes, so it's highlighting only the first book. Inside that you can fetch title maybe. Yes, so 1 and 2 will give you the first one or the second one. Right? So this is how you can navigate. Maybe you can try using one attribute also. So in the title, so say after book 2, say / remove price and put title, and open square bracket @lang.
Square bracket.
Yeah, no,
Yeah, that's right.
lang equal to single quote en. Yeah.
Okay.
So basically this is how you are accessing a particular attribute as well. In fact, just remove equal to en, just remove that.
Okay.
Equal to also remove. Yeah, so okay, so for like, okay, there is only one, so whatever the values it is giving you that, right?
Right. Yes.
So this way basically I hope others have also seen that and tried, Pallavi and others, Anamika.
Yeah.
Okay, so basically uh, Sandeep, just one more thing, just okay. So one more thing, Sandeep, if you will show your screen again at the red line. So here, if you if you will just give me control. So if you, so this is basically fetching you the value of title, right? Still it is fetching you the value of title. What if you want to get the value of attribute, right? So
Mhm.
in that case, you will say slash this, and so here you get the value of that particular attribute, right? Which is en here.
Okay.
Okay, so I mean, you should be able to even fetch the attribute of a particular tag that you are trying to make use of, isn't it?
Mhm.
Okay, so guys, girls, is it clear to all of you? Can we move ahead? Is it good, Smita, Pallavi, Anamika?
Yes, sir.
Yes, got it.
Okay, now why did we do all this is because I'll share my screen. Uh, okay, so the purpose was a lot of data which comes back to us is in form. Okay, now I give you a small example of making use of function also, right? One of the function was last was there, position was there. So this, so basically I have spent a lot of time consolidating or creating this page. If you will see here, Sandeep and other people, if you go to technical resources, API automation, if you click on API resources, this is a page which will keep growing over a period of time as we move ahead, and you will have all the links. So this is the download link. So every time you want to download stuff, you can come here, you will have the links here. Plus these are some of the resources which I have used very extensively to do R&D and create pages which I'm using for teaching here. So all these pages which you see here, API automation, right? So all this has been information has been taken from various resources, and you can find all of it here, right? So one of the link which for example is this particular link. If I click on this, so it contains description of some of the functions that we may make use of. So let me go here and let me check one. Okay, so this is the function. So if you will remember, Anamika, that when I was talking about this particular, where is that? Oh, let me just 1 minute. Not this one, XPath. Okay, so there was a mention of a lot of functions, around 200 odd functions, right? So these are those functions actually. Function ABS, function Boolean, function compare, contains, right? So, or for example, let's try to make use of this count function, right? COUNT. So if I go in here again, if I say let's make use of count use bookstore slash book. Okay, then I believe this is COUNT function must have, okay, not like this. So underneath that, book. So can you see the count here? 2, right? Sandeep, Pallavi, and others.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this
Yes.
is basically count function wherein I pass the node within the bookstore. So it gives me a count as 2 here of that particular uh, tag or with that particular node which I want to make use of, right? So these are some inbuilt functions available. You can find count is there, contains is there. There are a lot of functions. We'll try maybe one or two of them, which you can say exist, right? Exists is there, EXISTS, right? So here, can you see true showing up? Okay, so these are some of the functions which you can play around with as and when we start to use uh, XPath for accessing various elements. Now, if you are curious that why did I actually do all of this in the first place, so the reason is, let me start my now what I'm going to do is I'm going to start my web services, and I can all of you please do that with me? So I'm starting the web services which yesterday we set up on our machines locally. Okay, so what we will do is we will run our web service, and then we'll get some responses, and those responses we are going to perform XPath searching on all of those elements, and that is what we plan to do. Okay. Okay, so let me start my soap, or I will. So you people also, can you all please start your web services so that we can try it while we are discussing this. So I will go here. So let's say this is the soap publisher. So I will, let me go ahead and run it, right? Run as. Okay, so I have started my web service, and then I will have my demo. I will open it here. Here we created suite and maybe an add functionality which we created, right? Now I'm opening my test case, right? So are you all ready with your web services up and running, guys? Anamika, Pallavi, Sandeep, Smita?
Yes.
Yeah. So what I'm going to do is, first of all, let me insert data here, 10, 100 and API 1, right? So let me hit submit, and I have got it added, right? So far we were just asserting it on the basis of whether so last time we were asserting it on the basis of whether it contains or it does not contain and all that stuff, right? Now we will try to do an XPath match. Okay, now one more thing before I can move ahead. So I have this another document SOAP UI available. You can visit here, and these are a couple of validations which are available, right? So contains, not contains, XPath, XQuery, right? There are a lot of them which we can try. Like we tried SLA yesterday. SLA was that response time comes within a definite amount of time, less than maybe 200 millisecond. Security, we verified that the content which is coming back does not expose some special token or a password, right? So let's go ahead and try this now. So what we are going to do is okay, let SLA has failed. Okay, so let me delete this for now. Remove, I don't need this, and I don't need this. I'll just keep it very simple for now, right? Now let's go here, and can I find some XPath match? So XPath match is there. So I'll go to property. It is not here in this case. Here, second property, content. Can you see this, Pallavi?
Yeah.
Yeah. So say add here. Okay. And here declare the namespace. First of all, click on namespace, and we will generate an XPath. But before we do that, what I will do is, I will copy this response here. I have already given the link to you. Okay, so there are a lot of online tools available. Now I will, what I'll do is, I will say s colon envelope. fine, slash s colon body, right, and slash this, right, then slash return, right. So it gives me this true value, isn't it, Smita? So I'm going to copy this whole thing. Now that I know that this is the XPath, I mean, you could write manually as well, there is no problem, but now I have already taught you how to make use of XPath. So I will edit it, configure, I'll first click on declare, and after that I will put my XPath, and then what is my expected result? Expected result is
True.
true here, right? So TRUE, and I will save it, right? So it is still passing for me, right?
Mhm.
So let me go and let me go and okay, let me create a clone where XPath matcher. This I'll say 2. Any name I can give. Here I'll make it false, for example. And if I save it, so it is failing, right? Yeah, Smita. So
Yes.
yeah. So can we try it on your machine, Smita? Can you please share your screen and let's see if we can try it on while the session is going on.
Yeah. Just a second. So Maresh, uh,
Yeah.
when we are doing that XPath match session, what is
Uh,
declare doing there? Like it's starting that namespace and all. So what?
okay. Yes. So basically, remember I told you about the namespace. Remember? Yeah.
Yeah.
So this namespace is basically telling here that you see you are making use of s colon, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So namespace I had told in the previous session is that namespace is to distinguish between. Okay. First of all, did I tell you about namespace? Yes. No.
Oh,
Smita, Anamika, Sandeep. Did we talk about namespace?
Yeah, briefly actually.
Don't remember.
Okay, fine.
But I'll
Okay, maybe then I'll mention that again. Okay. So XML namespace W3 school. So let me first talk. I thought actually yesterday only in one of my class I discussed about that. So I thought maybe I must have talked. So let's say Pallavi, this is a table, right? This is an HTML table. We know basic HTML, right? This is an HTML table which contains apple and banana, right, Pallavi? And we have one more table which is a furniture as in the regular table on which we use for sitting and having a food and all that. This is another table. Now if I have an XML file here, let's say I have a sample XML file, I'll create a copy of this and I'll say sample XML file. So in this file I'll remove all this, and here I'm going to copy this table and I'll copy this table, right? Now there is no way for the program. So suppose I write a program and I read the content of this, right? So first of all, Sandeep, what is the purpose of XML file?
It's a medium to communication between.
Yeah, so it stores data and so that you can communicate. So when I say communication, it means that suppose it means that if there was an XML file here, right? If you transmit it to another device, another location XML. So in this case, what will happen is that this is a program which will read the content of XML file and perform some action or do whatever it needs to do, right? Now when I sending from machine 1, if I send it to machine 2, maybe machine 2 does not distinguish, or it will not be able to distinguish that what is this table and this table, because if tags are same, then I'm under the impression, or it's very obvious that I will think that this table is same as this table, right? Yes, no?
yeah.
Yeah. So So what is a way to make program understand the difference between these two? We make use of uh, uh, what you say. So if you will see here, if this XML fragments are added together, there would be a name conflict, right? Name both contains a table element, but elements having different content and meaning. A user or an XML application will not know how to handle these differences. So how do we do it? With the help of prefix. So solving the name conflict using prefix. Name conflict in XML can be easily avoided using a name prefix. What is that? This XML carries information. So I am using H colon in the entire node of table, whereas in the other table I'm using any other entry, right? So what is XML namespace? It is XML, NS stands for namespace. When using prefix in XML, a namespace for the prefix must be defined. So I use this prefix here. Can you see? Yeah, Pallavi, and there I
Yes.
have to define it. I have to say XML namespace colon H. Actually, it can be anything. It doesn't have to be H. It could be any character or any string also. Okay. So this H which I defined here, subsequently I use that H in the whole of the XML file to differentiate it from the other file, right? Now
Yeah.
this could be any character, or it could be uh, uh, HE, uh, what you want to call it, tab you can, and then in that case you will define it as tab. It could be a single character or collection of characters, but in order to keep the typing less, we define namespace as being a single character, right? Which is H I had here in the beginning, right? Does it make sense to you, Pallavi, Anamika, Sandeep,
Yes.
Smita?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so this is just to distinguish it. That is the point of why we go for namespace. Okay, now why did I put this namespace here? Because if you will see, I'm saying S colon, right? And S colon is a namespace which was originally available here. If you will see XML namespace S colon S, right? So that your XPath. So basically, this is there is an XPath parser or an engine which reads the XML file, right? So it should know that this is to be treated as a namespace S colon, and therefore I explicitly mention it like this here. Okay, is it clear, guys? Yes, Sandeep, Anamika, Pallavi.
Yes.
Okay, so can we please try this, what I have just explained? So let's try it in a real example now. What I mean by that is we will try to perform an operation, and then that value which comes in, we'll get an XPath of that, and then we'll try to perform some operations on that. Okay, so let's please do that. So let me maybe
Naresh,
yeah.
so like in this particular XML, the response, here are two namespaces. One is NS2 and the other one is the S1. We have to declare both of them separately.
Yeah, but generally you do not have to type in, right? So basically what they have, yes, so that is a good observation. So they have defined one at this level namespace and one at this level, right?
Okay.
So this is an auto generated code. So when you will go and add, so let's right click, if you configure it, if you delete all of this, if you just click on declare, it will auto generate it for you.
Okay.
I did not type it actually, but if you still want to type it, so it is very simple. So you can go to the response, and you can say DECLARE NAMESPACE, and then the namespace is this one, right? This is the namespace.
Yeah.
Yeah, so let me first of all copy that, otherwise it's not allowing me. I'll put it here in my notepad. Okay, so I'll open the, I'll configure this. If I were to write a namespace for this, how will I do? DCLARE NAME and here the namespace is NS2. I'll copy it and equal to, in the single quote I'll put that namespace, right? So this is not very difficult. It is all available for you in the response file, except that you need to take care of typing it here. So there are, since two namespaces which is used, you will have to declare both of them.
Okay.
Okay, so can we try maybe one example which I have just shown in front of all of you? So maybe Anamika, can you share your screen and can we see if it works out fine for you? Hello, Anamika, are you there? Okay, Anamika. Okay, meanwhile, Smita, can we try it on your machine?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, share your screen. I'll stop sharing. So first of all, yeah, so take that.
Yeah, 1 second. Sorry.
Yeah. No, even invalid value is fine. So first of all, let us generate the namespace. Yeah, okay, fine. No, actually, wait. Can you cancel this? Open the response, copy that response and put it in XPath website, which I give to you. Copy it.
Hello.
Yeah.
Hi, Naresh.
Yes.
I'm facing some internet issue and somehow this XPath is not working for me.
Okay, try it in another browser. I mean, it's look like Smita is also, Anamika is sharing. Try it in another browser.
Uh, yeah, actually, I saw somebody
I
else
tried on
sharing.
both.
Okay,
So,
okay. I thought it was Smita. Okay.
no, actually, I was, but somebody else was
Okay,
already doing it.
1 second. Just give me a minute, Smita. Okay, so Anamika, I don't know why it is.
Yeah, so my XPath
It's not
is
opening.
not
You try
working.
it in another.
Yeah, yeah, I tried in internet browser as well. So both is not working. Like IE as well, and I tried on Chrome. Both are not working. I think some due to some internet issue. I think it's a slow. So is it okay if you can just simply give me XPath? I can copy and
Okay, fine.
see.
Okay, so what we will do is, so actually it is not simple, Anamika. If you will, so I will. Can you stop sharing your screen?
Sure.
I mean, you can even type it like this. So okay, let's
Okay.
try it in on Smita's machine. So Smita, please share
Okay.
your machine. Okay, so 1 second. So see, simply you can put slash slash. No, so put the right, put the proper response here.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Anamika, if you will see that, you can say slash slash of first tag, second tag, third tag, and get that value. Okay. Please launch your SOAP UI. Did you run your application? Yeah, it is running. Yeah. So this case. So double click on add. Okay, just wait, Smita, wait for some time. So Anamika, are you reached up till here? At least this one is working for you, right?
Yes.
Okay, fine. So in that case, now yeah, execute this. Okay, now now copy the copy the whole response. Wait, copy the whole response. Take it to XPath. Control A and delete this. Okay, so Anamika, I mean, you can now you can simply type //s:/envelope. Okay, Smita, I'm muting you. There is a lot of background noise. Okay, so S is uppercase. Smita, S is uppercase, or you can copy and paste from the bottom, right? Copy from that. Yeah, copy it. X colon envelope. Yeah, with yeah slash single slash S colon body slash then slash return. And hit enter. So now here on the right side you can see a true value, right? Now you can copy that whole XPath and let's put it in the SOAP UI. No, not this. At the bottom. That is okay. Okay, fine. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's right. Sorry, my mistake. Yeah. So choose XPath. Yeah. So first click on declare. So this will generate your declare your namespaces and Control V, and the expected value you can put here. And say save. Yeah, so can you see that? So I hope Anamika it is clear to you as well. Yeah. Hello.
Yes.
So I think so you should be also
Yes.
able to type this, but in case you are facing problem, I'm muting you, Anamika. There is a lot of background noise, so I'm muting you. So can you stop sharing, Smita, now? Yeah. So I'm pinging this path to you if you want to make use of this path. So this is for performing add operation. So I'm putting it on the chat. You can take it from there. Yeah, Pallavi, are you able to also do it?
Yes.
Okay. So now coming back, where is that? Okay. Now we have done this XPath. Now let's use this function count and exist. Okay. Count and exist is basically so I can also get the count of that particular Sandeep, I hope it's done. You are also able to do it, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So now count and exist. So as I was saying that there are some functions available, exist, right? Exist which return. So can you see it returning true? So I'm under this path, I'm checking the existence of a return, right? So if I try to put this here, so this again is going to be XPath matcher for me. So I'll declare, and then after that I will say exists of this, and my expected value is true, for example. And if I say save, you will see that that is passing for me, right? Similarly, if I were to, so let's say there is another operation here, fine. So currently I have just done add. Let me add one more test case, new test case, uh, I'll say underscore get all underscore get all. So this fetches me the count of number of users or in that are in this system, right? So I will go here, say add soap request, and here I will say get all, right? So this will fetch me all the people in the system. So let's say if I run it, currently there is only one, right Sandeep? There is only one person. So now let's try to add one more. I'll add one more. I want to verify. I will make it 20 here, 200 here, API 2. And if I add it, the system, I have it. Now, if I try to run this SOAP request to get all, it will fetch me 2 records, right? So how do I verify? I'll copy and paste it in my XPather. So let me put it in XPather. So now it is envelope body. In that body, I have a return, return. Return has count of item. Return inside return. Okay, one second. Return return. Return has, what happened? Envelope body. Oh, sorry. I had to put this. Sorry, my mistake. Inside that, I have to put this slash item, right? Now I can say count. So sometimes you want to validate how many users are within the system, right? So can you see Sandeep, I'm getting count 2.
Yes.
Yeah. So what we will do is we'll take a break for 10 minutes now. We'll come back and try this whole thing with count. So we'll insert and then we'll use count function and verify that it gives you a count of 2 using XPath validator. Okay. So let's quickly break for 10 minutes. Okay. If
Um,
you're able to do it, then well, that's fine.
well,
Otherwise, we'll come and try it again. Okay.
Naresh, I have one query.
Yeah.
I'm not
Yes.
able to.
You're not able to. Sandeep, you are muted. I can't hear you.
Just I want to create a new project. I'm not getting what exactly URL I should provide there.
So did you start your
Yeah, I started that, but
so
somehow I just
okay,
closed it, and
yeah.
I think
So I will tell you. So you have to give this question mark WSDL.
Okay,
This
fine. Okay,
question, I'll type it here. Question mark WSDL. Okay.
okay, fine.
Yeah. Okay, guys. We'll break for 10 minutes and we'll come back and continue. Guys, girls, let me know if you are back.
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, others also, please let me know if you all are back.
Yeah, I'm here too.
Okay.
Actually, others I created that, but still I'm not able to open my project.
Yeah, can you share your screen? Yeah, first of all, show your Eclipse. Is it running? Is your Oh yeah, it is running. Okay, go back. Yeah, click on soap. Click on soap. Type any project name. Go, yeah, okay. Yeah, I say okay.
It's not.
Okay, maybe it is got created. Click on navigator.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was missing that.
Okay, so can you quickly try one? So I hope others, all of you have tried it, right?
Yes.
Okay, just we'll wait for Sandeep also to try once.
Okay, so Naresh, this one question.
Yeah.
Why are we using this the service is up and running? Without doing that, also we can use the request and response using the digital file, right?
No. So your web services should be hosted, right? Currently, we are using local web services, which I have created and given to you, right?
Okay.
So when you work on a real web services, it will be a real web application, for example.
Yeah.
Yeah. So in that case, I mean, for the time being, we have just seen that it's a simple dummy web service, and we just go ahead and call that. So it should be up and running because service should be running, right? Otherwise, how can you call the service?
Okay, so if we are using like not the local one, but a particular web page or something, then also then we don't need to host it.
Yeah, then it would be hosted by the service provider,
Okay.
right? So it has to be. It has to be there. You cannot live without that. Right?
Okay.
You understand
Yeah.
what I'm trying to say?
Yeah. Yeah. Sure.
Yeah. So okay. So we will go back here. So let's try some other tricks here. So XPath match we have seen. Okay, so we saw count exist. Okay, so just 1 minute. Okay, so where is my yeah. So we have seen like a few ways of how you can XPath match. You can try view various things, right? Then next, what we are going to look at is we will try to see that okay contains just 1 minute. Okay, next is okay count and exist. You all have tried, right? exist is to verify the existence of a particular entry maybe, and count is to count a, for example, if I were to, so when I were going to do a search of this one, as I was saying, so so when it is get all, this one here, I think so I have put okay. So if I run this, Smita, this gives me a count of 2 people, 2 item, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So did you try this, that where is my XPath? So this is my XPath here, right? If I have this, so let's, when you are fetching, when you are trying to fetch from the system, right? You want to make
Yeah.
sure that it contains 2 records or 5 records, because one validation can be that when you select all, what is the count of the item, right? So we will try that. So let me go here. I'll say / this envelope, right? I will put this / as body, right?
Yeah.
/ this, right? / return / then count of item.
Item.
That should be 2. So can you please try like this? Get
Yeah.
all others also. Can you please try it? So both of them count and exist after we try that. Are you people trying?
Yes.
Okay, I'm waiting. Let me know once you are done. Yes, Anamika, yeah. Are you asking something? Do you have a question, Anamika? Yes, please.
Yeah, so can you please show me that syntax because I'm typing. So just I want to add that count.
Oh, count. Okay, so for example, 1 second, let me, so let's take a valid file. So if I take and put it here, right?
Mhm.
So first of all, you'll take envelope body, then you will take this, you will put it here. Okay, this is also there, slash return
Uh-huh.
URL, right? So it is envelope. So you can put it, right? Now on
Yeah,
that,
and then count,
count
right?
whatever the tag item, right?
Okay, yeah. So can you please copy this?
Yeah, yes, I also need that.
So guys, actually you should try yourself. I mean, although I'm sharing it, but it's with the XPath, it should be beneficial.
Yeah, I'll try it tomorrow. I'll try it.
And guys, everyone. Yes, Anamika, you can share your screen. Get all. Okay, so see what has happened is you have deleted, oh sorry, you have performed an add without giving a value. So what we'll do is, first of all, let's first delete it. Okay, so okay, what is your right click on this XPath match, right click and click on configure, right click on the XPath match. No, just one, not here. So here the count is, count has to be 1, right, Anamika? How many? Okay, so you have how many people? I didn't see. 1 is there. 1 item, 2 item, 3, 4, 6 are there, right? There are many. 6, 7 are there. Let me put it here. So there are more than 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, 5, 6. I think so. There are 6, right? You put it in XPath. Do you have XPath open? So this is still not working for you. What? Okay. So I think so. There are 6 of them, 6 or 7, Anamika, right? Can you just count it properly? How many are there? I'm waiting for you. Are you counting it? Can you count it, Anamika? One second. Show me. 1 minute. 1 minute. Edit. Right click and edit that. Return of count of item. S colon envelope. No. An S1. Okay. Just give me control. Where is that? Can you open the, yeah, this one. So see, if you will see that you had declared it without S. Can you see that, Anamika? Here NS2 and S is there. Before it was like this. Soap, you have made it as soap, right? So you should actually click on declare. This will declare your namespace, and after that you have to put this, right? Because S is something which should be declared, and before it was not declared. That's why it was not able to find it. Yes, is it clear? Now save. Yeah, now it is passing. Is it clear, Anamika? Is it clear?
Yes.
Okay, so that namespace was not declared properly, therefore you were facing this problem.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
And my structure is it looking right? I have created one more test step and I
Yeah,
included that
so
one.
that is fine. Just give them
Okay.
some proper name. So like there is an add, you can F2 on that and just whatever you are doing so that you know what that is.
Oh, okay.
Right?
Okay.
You can F2 on that, rename, and then do whatever you are trying to actually, so that in future you will remember.
So this one was count, right? Or all person?
No. So fetch all. This was fetch all, right? Or get all?
This was get all.
Yeah, get all. So that in
Get
future you
all.
will know what you were trying to do.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. I'll stop sharing.
Okay, what about Sandeep, Smita, Pallavi? Did it work for all of you, rest of you, Pallavi?
Yeah, it's working for me.
Sandeep? Sandeep?
No, actually, I'm lost one step in between.
Okay,
I'm just trying that.
share your screen. Okay. So go cancel this. Let's see what is the error.
No, I I was trying with add only. I missed
Yeah,
the.
so there is one XPath count field. Oh,
That was some
right.
different actually. For count, I didn't try it.
Okay.
I need to.
Say okay. Okay.
This I was missing.
Okay, fine. Okay, then you can continue. Try it
Yeah,
and then okay.
yeah.
Can you
I'm
stop
just,
sharing?
yeah.
Smita, what about you?
Yeah, it's working for me.
Okay.
I
So
just have one question actually regarding this exists function.
uh,
So we hello.
yeah, I'm listening. Yes.
Okay, so the parameter for exist is return, right? And it is returning true value if it is matching.
Yes. Yes.
So what, I mean, does it compare with the actual return tag? Like the presence of the tag is checked or the values inside that return tags are
No, no.
checked?
So it just checks whether the tag is there or not, right?
Okay, so just the presence of the tag
Yeah.
is
So if
checked.
if
Okay.
if I delete this, let's say I
Mm-hmm.
have deleted
Mm-hmm.
item, and this is just a simple item with the open and close.
Is Nash, can you please share your
Okay. Oh,
screen?
sorry. Yeah. I'll just share. So if
Yeah.
you will see here,
Mm-hmm.
I have initially it was like this, right?
Mm-hmm.
I just went ahead and deleted all of it, and I
Mm-hmm.
just closed it, open and close of an
Yeah.
item tag with nothing inside it, right? Still
Yeah.
there is a count is coming as 1, right? Can you see? So
Mm-hmm.
count of a tag checks for the occurrence of that,
Right.
whether it contains something or not. That's a different story, but I'm
Mm-hmm.
just verifying for occurrence of a particular tag and what is the count of that. Or
Okay. Yeah.
exist will return a true or false,
Yeah.
right?
It's a
But
boolean. Yeah.
count will return. So I could have, so this is a item without any value inside it, right?
Values inside. Yeah.
Right. But here if I say count, it still gives me 2,
Yeah.
right? So basically this is an XPath going to this location, return, and
Mm.
from there it is checking the count of each of this.
Each of the tags. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so it's working great. Okay, fine. Now let's move ahead then, since we have all have got it working. So another thing which we can do is there is one more validation you can do on your XPath match if you click OK. So let's say I will check the content, content, content of X output or response. Okay, you can give whatever name you like to do. So here I'll declare, and in this I will say slash slash s colon e nve lope slash s colon body, right? So under under envelope under body, if I say select from text, it gives me this, right? So I sometimes I want to verify that the structure of the data which is coming back and which is in the body is in this form, right? Are you understanding, Sandeep, what I'm saying? Sandeep?
not really.
Okay. So I'm seeing that what is inside the envelope and body. Inside the envelope and body, there is an ns2 add person response. I'm checking for the occurrence of this inside the body tag, right?
Okay.
Yeah. So that's what I am checking. Sometimes I know that count of item is okay. So count of item is there, but inside the count, is there a structure of tags I want to verify? So okay, let me say, suppose this is my response which is coming back, right? So if I go and put it here, right? Now if I say slash slash s envelope, let's say I put here as envelope, right? Then as body, right? Now here I can say that under envelope under body I have this, so I can say slash exist of this tag, right? So this is what we have already tried and it works perfectly fine and it gives me true, right Sandeep, so far? Yeah.
Yeah, right.
But now what I want to check is that within the body, the XML tag or node which comes back, is it in a specific format, for example? So I will give this much part, right? So now what I'm doing is I'm adding content of response. I'll configure it. Here I'll declare, and in this I'm defining only up till here, right? So let's define up till body, right? And what should it contain? It should, I can simply say select from current. So whatever is the content inside body, this is the content, right?
Okay.
So I'm validating whether this structure is right. Okay, let's say first let's correct, see it's passing, right? If suppose I change the structure to be return 1 and return 1, so it fails. So basically I'm trying to verify the structure of the XML node which is returned as a response to me, right?
Okay.
For example, in this case, when you fetch here, you get this, sorry, you get this content, right? So here you have envelope body return, right? So slash envelope is there. So let's say I have this envelope, inside that I have a body, inside that I have a slash body, inside that I have this, right? This, and then slash return slash item item 1, for example. So is this structure correct? I want to check that it is age, ID and name, right? Getting me, Sandeep?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
So this time what I can do is, for this I will create a response. So XPath match add, I'll declare it and I'll put that this whole thing, right? I'll put it here and select from current. So it should give me this content, right? This should go inside that age, this, yeah. And this is what I'm validating now. So till now we were validating either 20 or 200 or true or false. Now I'm validating that within the item tag, within this item tag, do we have the structure or the content of data as this one, right?
Yeah, right. Got it.
Okay, so can you please try this one quickly?
So will it check just like these item age or name, or it will check the data as well?
Yeah, so it will check the structure and the data, both the things it is checking, right? So
Okay, both the things.
if
Okay.
I configure it and make it one here, it will fail, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Okay.
so just try it out, please.
Yeah, just to keep this one open so I can type and I can.
I will ping it to you.
Yeah. Thank you.
So this is the top one, and this is the bottom, the one from the bottom. So if you guys will see here while you are trying, I have just changed the structure from top age, I have moved to the bottom, right? So you will see that it is also checking the structure or the order in which ID, name and age is appearing, right? So that is also important.
Yeah, it's a failed for me because I have like a response like very long. So it's a failed for me.
No, show me why it is failing.
One fever. Cancel. Yeah, it passed.
Okay, fine. Okay. What about others? Pallavi, Sandeep, Smita?
Yeah, it's working.
Yeah.
I am trying now.
Okay. Okay, so while Sandeep is trying, what we have to do next is we will not start with the new topic after this, but instead I'm giving you one link. Uh, we have to start with Groovy scripting so that we can start our automation. So can you all see this link here, Smita and others? So if you click on this,
Naresh, you're not sharing.
oh sorry. So if you will go to this link here, tech resources, API automation, API resources, it will take you to this particular page here. Here, if you will go to Groovy, if you click on this, it will download, it will open this page. So come down here and can you see installer, window installer, Smita, right?
Yeah.
So I believe if you people are making use of window, download the window installer.exe and we will install this on our machines. Okay. And
Okay.
you should have Java 8 and above. So I believe all of you have Java 8 and above on your machines, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you can do it maybe after the session or you can start the download now and then try to install it also. And I mean, in the next session, we are going to look at how we can basically perform or write automation scripts. So although we are writing most of our test cases and still things are being done manually, right? It's like a manual testing only we are doing so far with this, with the whole help of SOAP UI. So we are actually going to do all of this using complete automation with the help of Groovy script. Fine. Sandeep, is it done for you?
Yes, it worked for me.
Okay, great. Okay, so
Sure, we have to talk about the Groovy 3.0, right?
yeah, take the latest one.
Okay. Okay.
So now see, there are a few more things you can play around with whenever you want to. Or so suppose when I add a test case. So currently, what we are doing, we have only tried out a single per test case. There is a single step, right? So you can in fact add more test steps. So you can right click and maybe uh, you can run the entire test case as well. It is failing. Why? Because I think so the user will already be there, right? So in a single test case, you can have multiple test steps. You can add a step also. So
Naresh,
maybe,
you're not sharing.
oh, okay, sorry about that. Okay, so what I was trying to say is that suppose we have seen the structure that we have a project, the test suite is there. Test suite can have multiple test cases, right? So this is add, get, all. Now within a single test case, you can have multiple test steps also. So here, let's say this test case or test step is add, and I can add one more here. So I can say, right, add test step, soap request, and I can call it soap request, and I can call it get all person, right? So this could be my another. So here I will add 40, 400, and let's say 3, right? So now this is this particular test step contains 2 steps which can be executed, right? So if I try to run this, right click, okay, if I double click here and try to run it, why it is still showing this? Content of response. Okay, I think I will remove this. I don't need this one for now. Okay, so at least the user would have got added and the response. Okay, so let me once again, I have to modify this. Let's make it 50, 500 maybe, and this is 5. So if I go to this case and try to run it, so can you see both of them are executed, Smita? Right? Yeah. So a particular test case can have multiple test steps, right? And a suite. So you can in fact double click here and you can run the entire suite. So a suite will execute the test cases, and in the test cases, it will execute the test steps that are available. Fine, Smita and others.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So next topic which we needed to do is, and I don't think so we can do it again, is we will try to, so currently we are hard coding the values here, right? When you want to enter data into this, into the test case, we end up hard coding the value, right? So we will see how we can dynamically populate these values with the help of some properties, which we will try to do it in next session on the coming Saturday. Fine. So a quick summary of what we have done today is we mostly spent time understanding what is an XPath, and then how to fetch entries from an XML, that is a response XML that comes as a result of XPath, right, guys? And we tried various validations and a couple of functions to fetch the data. So all of this we have done manually using SOAP UI. So in the coming session, we will make use of Groovy scripting, and we will try to automate all of this, what we have been trying to do manually today. Fine, guys, girls?
Yeah.
Sandeep,
Yes. Yes.
Anamika.
Yes, Naresh.
Okay, so please practice, get comfortable with what we have done so far. And in the next session, we'll get started with Groovy scripting and we'll start automation of what we have already done. I mean, we will look at other complex web services, but this, at least you should be able to perform add, delete, and add, get all, and like there are 4 of them, right? Get, this will get with a specific ID, right? So you can get with maybe an ID 30. So try all these 4. So 30 does not exist maybe, so maybe 40, maybe it will be there. Okay, it's also not there. Okay, so get person, get, try to do get all, delete a person, maybe deleting with a ID, you can give an ID and delete, and then perform add, and try to play around a little with XPath, which we have studied, so that you feel confident with it. Okay. Okay, guys, then I will see you next weekend. Please practice, and if you have any doubt, you can ping me anytime. I will try to help you during the week.
Naresh,
Yes.
actually, I was trying to download this Windows installer for Groovy. And I'm getting an error that Java underscore home is not set. Please set it to your Java installation, otherwise Groovy won't be able to work.
Yeah, so I will help you with that installation. I have to explain all of that. So just download it for now. Setup and all that. I need to explain what is a need of Java home and all that stuff. It will come.
Okay, so I just put OK, and should I move forward like
No,
next?
so you don't even need to install it. Just keep it downloaded because installation hardly takes few minutes. Download will take time. So I will. So when we are starting with Groovy, before that I will explain what is JDK, what is JRE, how we install them, why do we need Java Home, and all those things. Okay.
Oh,
You don't need to install it for now. Just keep it downloaded on your machines locally, and we will look at all that stuff in the next session.
okay.
Yeah.
Naresh, Groovy version 3 is the current one, right?
Yes.
Because that is being downloaded right now.
Yes, that's right.
Okay.
3.1.
Okay.
Okay, guys, then thank you for your time. I will see you next weekend. Hope please practice, and if you have doubt, please ping me. And for the next session, please keep your downloads ready. Let's not waste time in downloads like we had done this week. Okay, thank you so much. And have a
Thank
good week.
Thank you.